Dear all, before we start with this presentation, I want to thank Women as One, Caci and Solaci organization, and the sponsor Boston Scientific and Protect for the support. I would like to share with you some ideas that have inspired in this symposium. You know, this symposium called the Jana Greenfeld Symposium. To my male and female colleagues, we are living in a new era that inclusion and diversity is really a priority. We need to mentor new female colleagues to support them, and I hope this program presented today will wake up and get started with new points with women in interventional cardiology, with new start, more woman-friendly in the cath lab. So I think the first talk is the Roxana Meran talk. You know very well Roxana. It's a pre-record talk. So I would like to present Roxana, and here we are with Aníbal Damonte and Diego Greenfeld, and all the colleagues from Latin America representing this webinar.
Thank you very much, Carla. I would like to thank Carla a lot because, as you know, in December, I assumed as Caci president, and all my professional life, I learned from Liliana, and I saw her working a lot and fighting a lot for women's rights and the creation of the WIN, and she joined with Roxana and a lot of ladies from the cardiology and interventional cardiology, and they worked a lot, and I saw her that it was really hard. So once I was in Caci, I talked with Carla, and I knew she was working with all Latin American women in that order. So I asked her to make this women commission from Caci and join with Solaci. Thank you, Aníbal, for your very, very good hand with this. And she can reach with Erica and Roxana to try to get Caci and Solaci in Women's One. So thank you very much, Carla. The idea is to reach every woman in Latin America and try to show there that it's not that hard to be an interventionist. Thank you very much. Aníbal.
Thank you, Diego. Thank you, Carla, for inviting me to co-chair with you this symposium. It's a privilege for me. And on behalf of the Solaci board, I would like to welcome all the participants to this symposium. By the way, I would like to congratulate Carla and all the women interventional cardiologists in Latin America for setting up this and organizing this event that I'm sure we will enjoy a lot and we will learn a lot. So without further delay, I hand over to Carla so as to go ahead with the program. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to see the pre-record talk. I want to thank also our male colleagues here in the webinar too, Alejandro Martín Cisneros. Please, let's see the record. Hello, everybody. Dear colleagues, it's my pleasure to welcome Roxana. She's a friend of Solaci and Caci and all the people in Latin America, especially for our MIL group of women in interventional cardiology. Roxana, we know how complex is your agenda in this part of the year, so very, very thank you. It's my pleasure to have you here. We know that we loved you. Thank you to talk about collaborative leadership, mentorship, and bias in interventional cardiology, a cultural change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla, Diego, amigas, amigos. amores, all of the loves that I have in Buenos Aires, and of course with Caci, with Solaci, all over the Latin American world. I hope that you're all masking up, that you are not letting down your guards, that you understand that the reason why I am not there in person is this terrible virus, that I would never ever let anything come of not coming to personally to Argentina and being there at Caci. But importantly, that even though your numbers are going down, please don't let your guards down. In fact, if you keep your guards up, you will not see that second surge we are seeing here in America. And it is about collaboration with the laws and the regulations and understanding that the virus is not yet diminished. In fact, it is very virulent and ready to attack. So please be very, very careful. But thank you for including the collaborative leadership, mentorship, and important bias in interventional cardiology, and how we're all going through this important cultural change. There's no real disclosure for this talk, except that I'm really deeply passionate about bringing women into interventional cardiology, because I believe that these meaningful dialogues on equal pay, supporting pregnancy, early parenthood, during training, they're really, really important, and they're moving towards a positive direction, because as we are small in numbers, we're having a much huger growing impact, and being present at the table helps to energize other women to join the discussion and rally for our collective cause. This is incredibly important. Let me show you how we believe addressing diversity in cardiovascular training can be accomplished. And this is work by Damp et al. In JACC. I highly recommend that you look at this. If you open any journal, this is a very, very important piece. In the past, it was kind of a joke. Oh no, you know, these are just stupid ideas. It is now central. If you want to be a good program, if you want to be making an impact in the world by having the best possible science with your best foot forward, you need to have diversity in the leadership, diversity in your program, diversity in the doctors who come and treat, and you need to attract talent. And that means you have to be diverse. So most program directors agree that diversity in cardiovascular disease needs to increase, and they feel that training programs can play an important role. This is a very important first foot forward as a perception. But the action is that they need to have support systems for underrepresented groups and have used these important strategies to increase diversity and recruitment. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that. And then there are important needs that program directors have identified, sharing best practices for recruitment and implicit bias training as resources that aids their efforts in increasing diversity in cardiovascular disease, especially for our professionals. But take a look at what, and this looks very, very busy, but I'll make it very simple for you. That the barriers that are faced by program directors in increasing diversity and training, the biggest one, which is highest with significant barrier, is lack of what they believe is lack of qualified diverse applicants in the applicant pool. So the diverse individuals are just not applying to these programs. So we need to make cardiology more attractive to the diverse pool, talent pool, women, underrepresented minorities. And that is that the culture of cardiology as a subspecialty is a barrier, that there is lack of diversity already, an important barrier in cardiology faculty, and of course in the institution. The geographic location and lack of diversity in the community is not that big of a deal, but it is there as an important barrier. And then of course, lack of diversity amongst the current fellows, because when the fellow comes in for, wants to see that, you know, do they have women? Do they have underrepresented minorities? And then what is important to understand that the culture of the program in and of itself is not that big of a deal. It's somewhat of a barrier, but it doesn't fit into the significant barrier. The significant barriers are more about the qualified candidates. So let's now focus on women. What are the factors that influence women to stay in cardiology, to retain it, to think about it? And if you look at men and women and look at stable hours, family-friendly, female-friendly, positive role models, it's really interesting. You know, you might have thought, oh, you know, financial benefits, that's what men and women care about. It's really not. They're very equally, that's not the differential. The differentiator here for women is alignment of the perceptions that may assist efforts to ensure the attractiveness of cardiology and increases the diversity. And what are some of those important factors that you choose as women choose for a subspecialty in interventional cardiology? Well, take a look. It's really important. The most important one is having a female mentor. This is really, really important for them. And I think that's what you have to kind of think about for women. Positive drivers that motivate fellows to choose interventional cardiology more predominantly influence men, whereas barriers in entering the field impact women much more significantly. So you see, for men, innovation, being an expert, financial advantages is more important. But for women, it's about mentorship. Isn't that amazing? How do you increase this representation in cardiology? Well, you've got to be thinking about your mission and vision statement. And in order to establish a program that supports women in cardiology, go back to your mission statement. Go back to your vision statement. And those need to have the word female and women in it. And in order to do that, the pillars are in skills development, leadership sponsorship, networking, mentorship, and advocacy. And take a look at the advocacy. It's really important to have those important interventions in pregnancy, parental leave, re-entry into training if they happen to take time off because of those important life events, radiation safety, fertility preservation, quarterly newsletters, important fellowship recruitment work, and community service. And then, of course, really important on the skills side is making sure that these women are trained and that they have sponsorship working with national training through ACC or AHA or other societies, and importantly, have networking opportunities for them. You've got to work in all of these efforts. And these have been really nicely put forth in this article in Jack, where you could kind of think about, how do I increase diversity during recruitment? The most important thing is during that interview day to make sure that you show that you have a diverse faculty, and I hope that you do in your program, that you prioritize diversity in the match list. Are you doing that? For us in the US, we do a match. In other words, you've got to choose the diverse people into your program and give them a chance and take away your implicit bias. And training of implicit bias is so very important. And you can understand how it's important also to have a diverse faculty on the selection committee. These are really, really important. And then, of course, it's very important to have very good practices in interviewing. Implicit bias, absolutely important. And these are things that are not happening. And in order to have gender disparities addressed, we have to think about all of the different tangential issues here. And it's about mentors and leadership networks and moral responsibility for the institution, for professionalism, and important policies that enforce and have accountability in addressing gender disparities if you see it in your institution, and important cultural change socially, societally, and of course, ethically. These are all very, very important for women in cardiology. I highly recommend that you read these important recommendations to enhance recruitment and retention for career advancement. I won't go through them because I mentioned pretty much all of them in the previous several slides. In understanding implicit bias and having the best possible environment in your own program. But if you want to do that, these are the ways to go. And they came up, and their conclusion is that the action has to be urgent. It's needed in implementing creative, multi-pronged approaches to address the many real and perceived barriers to women's full participation in cardiology. These are urgent needs. You know, women in cardiology, I think, are a raft of otters, and I think this is really, really cute representation in Jack Check case reports that was just put together. When they're together as a group, they swim together and you see these otters, they're all working together towards a certain goal. And it's about reaching, empowering, and benefiting the entire group. And thinking about the reach is creating institutional and organizational women in cardiology mentorship and sponsorship groups, just like MINT is doing, empowering more women in leadership roles, encouraging open communication between and amongst women, empowering these women to advocate for other women, and empowering women in cardiology to promote diversity and inclusion. MINT is doing this. Mujeres in cardiovascular, in the cardiology department, in this group that is working in the Latin American world. This is exactly their mission. And the benefit is huge because what you can see that you are benefiting the entire world first by having diversity will enhance patient care, but also you will amplify more women in cardiology, and you will increase the well-being by that having that important support system for these women who have to manage so many things outside of their careers. Take a look at what's going on in Europe. This is a European Association of PCI working together, lobbying for representation of women in interventional cardiology for the last decade, and boy, have they made a huge impact. They have changed this invisible army of women in interventional cardiology into a visible force, making change. Importantly, in all of their meetings at ESC, you will never see a panel that is completely in men, a manel. We're still seeing it in Latin America. It must go away. And myself, I have devoted the last decade and a half really on promoting equity. And I worked as a founder of SkyWin, as a member of the Women in Cardiology Council, as a board of trustees at the American College of Cardiology, currently working very, very closely with the diversity and inclusion important initiative that's ongoing right now with the American College of Cardiology, working closely with the European Society of Cardiology and very closely with my sisters at MINT to promote equity in medicine. And now through this foundation that I co-founded with Marie-Claude Maurice and Rebecca Ortega. Our one and only aim is to broaden and promote the global talent pool in medicine by providing unique professional opportunities to women physicians. And we believe that we can do this. And it's because of all of the issues that we already know and are tired to hear about it. The fact that we, as women cardiologists, are 3 times more likely than men to experience discrimination due to parenting responsibilities, a natural affecting a nature of wanting to take care of your family. We are discriminated against. You know what? Men care about their families too, but they're not discriminated. We're 37% less likely to become full professors. This must change. There's no standard at all for parental leave. If you go to different places, it's different, especially what to do about radiation safety for a pregnant cardiologist. And over the career of a woman in the United States, in cardiology, women will make $2.5 million less over a 30-year career compared to their male counterparts in cardiology. This must end. So we felt that we needed to broaden and promote talent. We needed to equalize the playing field. And this is our only, one and only mission. And we're doing this not just in cardiology, in all of medicine, but we started with the most broken house, and that's in cardiology. So our goals are to amplify, fortify, and unify the groups. By amplify, we mean developing compelling digital content to showcase these talented women who are unseen, unheard, and underrepresented, to support these efforts with aligned organizations. We fortify by strengthening the pipeline of women in leadership in healthcare, matching the qualified physicians to professional opportunities through our talent directory. And we unify the houses of medicine to set metrics-driven diversity and inclusion goals. This is working at the moment with ESC, AHA, ACC, Solaci, Mint, anybody, and including women and ideas from industry outside of medicine. We want to have these women learn more about what else is going on. The talent directory is our Bible, and we ask you in Latin America to populate this talent directory with your Mint group. We only have 770 registrants. We should have thousands. Yes, we ask a lot of questions. We want you to give us everything you know about yourself, because we want to show how powerful you can be. The more we know about you, the more we can match you to the right place. And when we call it a talent directory, is because we believe everyone is talented in one way or another. If you are a cardiologist and you are a woman, you have to get through so many barriers that you have got to have talent. And that's why we call this the talent directory. So if you are a cardiologist and you're a woman, you belong on this directory. Go there and put yourself in. The impact has been great. So I'm going to give you one example. The Cardiovascular Clinical Trials Forum, which is a huge one it's the best meeting. I love it. It's happening in the beginning of December. They reached out to us and they said, give us some qualified speakers to talk about cardiovascular clinical trials. We don't know them. So we provided 47 speakers from our talent directory, 15 countries, 9 subspecialties, and within a week, 14 of these were selected. 93% of the speakers selected were new faculty to CVCT, and 36% of these were from countries outside of the United States. Additional 8 women were personally invited to apply for their Young Investigator Grant in support of building a pipeline of women in clinical trialists. This is how we elevate women through this directory. So if you're not part of this, you're missing out. Please join us. During COVID, we did a lot of things. We felt that it was our responsibility to reach out to these women who are not only burdened by COVID-19 at the workplace and the front lines, when most of the frontline workers are women. If you think about nurses and nurse practitioners and physician assistants, but these women physicians and frontline workers were also having to deal with their children. They're all of age of childbearing age, and they have children at home who now have been brought home to study from their homes remotely. Who takes care of those children when you can't bring in nannies, and because of the issues of quarantine? Women had to bear a lot, and the impact of trauma was tremendous for women. And so we had several series of webinars to think about and discuss the impact of trauma openly. This is on our website. Please go there and listen to it. It will help you. And then we had this incredible woman, Sasha Shilkut, who's a physician who's written some of the best books. She's the author of Between Grit and Grace, How to Be Feminine and Formidable. And she spoke to us about finding grit and grace during COVID-19. We also had a very important issue on the bottom line on sex, gender, and COVID. The Canadian Cardiovascular Society and Women as One worked on this, and it was a fantastic, fantastic webinar. We also felt that we needed to give back, and we donated to the Global Empowerment Mission for production and delivery of N95 masks to frontline workers during the pandemic. We felt it was important for the pregnant cardiologists to understand what to do about radiation safety, and for once and for all, get the best possible people to come on board and tell us what exactly to do. What does it really mean? These papers are so difficult to read. Understanding radiation safety and physics is difficult. So we asked the experts to put together all of the evidence and to come forth with a beautiful, beautiful resource that is now available on a very, very important, on our website, on this important presentation that will take you through in a very simple way, show you how to protect yourself and not be scared of radiation. Importantly, we escalated women through our Escalator Awards. Every dollar that we raise, we give back to women. This is what we do at Women as One. We had 70 applicants from 14 countries and 7 subspecialties for the 2020 awards. Back in 2019, we awarded this to these 5 exceptional women. These physicians from the United States, Canada, South Africa, and United Kingdom were given $50,000 for the year based on the work that they submitted. And we have this opportunity open to everyone for the 2021 awards, which ended, the application cycle ended on November 7th. But we hope to now give 9 awards in 2 categories. Research awards for women in academic cardiologists less than 10 years post-training, and a mentor match awards where we will match the mentor to the fellow to help them get through the following year with a lot of excellent work. We also have set up CLIMB skills training programs. This is to increase the technical skills of women in interventional cardiology, promoting more collaborative cath lab environment, working with the cath lab directors and leadership to choose women to become more trained in specific skills and to improve access and relationship amongst women, interventional cardiologists, and industry partners. We had 4 topic tracks with the best-in-class faculty on atherectomy, CTO, hemodynamic support, and imaging, led by world-renowned expert faculty. And all of this archive program content is posted on Women as One website, available to all who are part of our talent directory. Get in there and climb with us. We've also developed a One Fund program. We're investing in women and asking for donations to this One Fund. Our investment is for the future of medicine. This vehicle through which the organization will be able to build bigger, bolder programming in support of women physicians around the world. Contributing to this fund will help us grow our ongoing investment in women, thereby creating a reciprocal culture of investing, strengthening our collective ability to succeed. So you can donate to the One Fund. We're also working on a global research network. We're not stopping. We are working really very much on our toes, developing capabilities through the talent directory to train and identify women investigators. We believe that's how you get your foot in the door. We're developing a lot of demonstration projects to employ research throughout our global network, join our talent directory. Contact us. We have an amazing staff that's growing by the minute, and we can't wait to include you in our collective cause. Thank you so much for your attention. I do believe we will be able to promote talent, enhance outcomes, and equalize the playing field for men and women in cardiology, especially in interventional cardiology. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Roxana. Great talk, great presentation. Thank you very much. Inspiring and
Thank you.
open-minded.
Thank you.
Great. As you know, Liliana was one of the pioneers in this fight about women's rights and recognition in interventional cardiology and other fields. And I grew all
She
my
was our shining light. She was our shining light in South America and Latin America. She brought wind there. I know that she enticed everyone, and Mint is a outgrowth of that, which is fantastic. We love her dearly. I know she's smiling from the heavens.
Thank you very much. And based on all this, my background with my growing professional career, I talked with Carla and we decided to create this commission of women in Caci. So to try to connect all the Argentinians, women in cardiology, with Latin American and all around the world. That's why I think this first meeting is really, really important. I really recognize and thank your support for this presentation and Carla's support. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think this will be a very big and important first step for Caci to create the Female in Interventional Cardiology Commission. We are doing the same way from Solaci with Women in Interventional Cardiology. I think that we need to unify the collaboration because we have not too much money to do different things and separate things. We need to have a big group of women working in this issue. And you are talking about mentors. I think my mentors were different. Were male and woman. You know, Alan Crivier, Helena Chaninov, Liliana, Daniel Berrocal. I think we need not only women mentors. We need both. We need diversity of mentors, as you mentioned, because each of them have different aspects and different way to do things. Do you think we need in Latin America a database of mentors, for example, as you do in your Women as One organization, because we need to have, because everybody want to be a mentor, but a really mentorship needs more complex effort and support and follow. Do you think we need to duplicate a mentorship here as you do in Women as One in Latin America?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that one of the things it's been difficult to get more women from Latin America. I mean, so for example, in the Escalator Award, you know, we're not getting applications from Latin America, and you guys are not in our talent directory. I don't know how we can get more of you to feel comfortable to share your information with us, because we will only help you. We have no other hidden agendas. Every single dollar that we collect, we give back to the women. So I don't know why this is, and I'm hoping that you can help us. That's why I felt it was important for us to be part of this and to discuss this openly.
Yes, I think I was in the talent in Women as One organization. I think talking with one of my colleagues here and in Brazil and in other parts of Latin America, maybe the language will be a barrier. So that's where I mentioned maybe to create some database or some talent, Latin America talent in Spanish will be help. Just thinking, with you in this moment, because they mentioned maybe that's one of the barriers. I don't know. I think we need to talk and we need to be creative to involve these girls, these women in this organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the moment, right moment. I mean, this first kick is essential. We have to work and go on working. Carla, we can't stop now. I mean, we start with this reunion, Latin American and Roxana, Women as One. I think this is the opportunity to start and don't stop, because this is a moment. I mean, everybody around the world is working on these differences and trying to join all together. So I think this is the very, very good opportunity to can reach all the other women that are now working and really, really hard working. And as always in Latin America, we are one step abroad. So
I think you guys are way ahead. I think you guys are doing great. You have, at the very least, you're recognizing that there has to be a light shone on this and that this will change. The world is changing and you don't want to be behind on this important initiative. And I think that you are already on the way with Mint. Women in Caci will be great, but I think it's not good to have silos of women in different places. We're stronger when we're together as one. That's why we have this organization, Women as One. And then you have to reach to your own audience through these different channels, whether it's Mint, Caci, Women, or Solaci Women, whatever it is. However it works, different cultures have different ways, but in order to get things accomplished, we have to work as one. That's why we created this important initiative with Women as One. So this doesn't mean if you're doing Mint that you shouldn't be as part of Women as One, because you need both. You need to come at this in different directions in order to get it right.
Yes, that's right. That we need to work as one. That's the idea, not duplicate efforts, work together.
No, it's good to do duplicate efforts because the more they hear it from different venues, the better it is. But you shouldn't be, oh, I'm working with this, so I'm not going to do that. I think you can all do everything, but make sure that you're part of the effort that is as one as well, because we really are making very, very important strides. And we need more women from Latin America so we could shine the light on you. We can do it for you.
Thank you.
Join the talent directory.
Yeah, we are promoting that, and we need you as our big sister to guide us in this way.
I am there, and you are all my sisters and brothers, and I love everyone in Latin America. You know how passionate I am about Latin America.
Roxana,
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I'm going to listen to Dr. Fauci now. Dr. Fauci is giving an address at the American Heart Association right now. I'm going there now.
Okay. Hope to see you next year here in our place
100%.
after this pandemic.
Can't wait to see you all.
Okay. Thank you very much
Adios.
for your time, Roxana. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. I think we are almost everybody here. We're almost 100 people listening and watching this webinar. I think we could continue with some different points as we have experts in the panel, women and male. Just to start, I think my obsession is if you are ready to support us, because it's not only one person concerned, or Diego or Aníbal or myself. We need to work as one. So I want to ask everybody of each of you if you are going to support actions, because as Roxana said, there are no representation from Latin America in Women as One organization. So let me ask you, each of you, what are your expectations regarding this issue? If you are concerned in your own places, in your own hospital, we have different countries here represented. So it's your voice.
Diego, do you want to make any comment or?
Yeah, I think Carla what says, let us know how can we help you to be part. I mean, in the recent presentation, Carla told something like maybe languages could be a barrier. So if real language is a barrier, maybe from Caci or Solaci we can help you to translate your works, your lectures, your papers, whatever we want. Maybe we can help with that. Maybe we can start some English lessons from Solaci and Caci, from women who want to work with Women as One, because I think that can't be a limitation. I mean, language can't be a limitation. We can make something with that. And if you have another thing in your mind, we can help, please let us know.
I don't know, Paulina, you have some opinion in Ecuador. What is your position in Ecuador? Paulina was my only female fellow the last 15 years. So that's why I'm talking directly to Paulina. What is your opinion in Ecuador? There are any others women working in this issue?
Hello, good afternoon, all people. I'm grateful for your invitation and proud to participate in this conference. A good questions, Carla, because in my country's Ecuador, is complicated to get a job, mainly to women, because in my country the people think a lot before giving a leadership position to a woman, for example, you know, and that vision is interesting, because many men and women, head professionals, have a vision complicated when the woman look a job, you know. In this moment in my country, Ecuador has only 2 interventional cardiologists, and I have a proud to teach some women in endovascular interventional. That is the problem in this country, in my country now.
Okay, in Latin America, for example.
Carla, listen, Paulina says that it's very difficult in her country, but you are now hospital director.
Yeah.
So you are there. You are there. You have to work. If you need some help, we can give you some help, because you reach this position with your work. You break down that wall. I mean, you said that it's really, really hard, but you did it. So it's not impossible. Yeah. And Ecuador, I know that it's really, really, really hard to be there, a woman, a worker woman. So, but you did it. So I think that's not a problem. I mean, we can work on that.
It is possible. It is possible.
It is possible.
It's very hard, but it is possible.
I think the thing that about talking about complaint, I don't want to talking about complaint. That's made me furious, you know. I don't want to complain. I want to do something right now to move forward. That is no more time for complaint. We are few. We are only 2% of interventional cardiologists working in Latin America and in all over the world. But we need to do something right now because the 80% of our medicine school are women. So we need to be more creative to push the cardiologists to do interventional cardiology. So we need to do a woman environment more friendly. So I don't know what happened in Brazil. For example, Viviana, Sanali, Mangione. I think you have also the same problem, but you are doing intervention. Do you have any comments, Viviana, Sanali from Brazil, for example? Fernanda?
Un comentario en español. Si alguien tiene alguna pregunta que hacer en español, por favor hágala en el chat de preguntas y respuestas y nosotros la traducimos al inglés.
Bem, obrigada, Carla. Vou falar em português. No Brasil, nós temos um número muito pequeno de mulheres intervencionistas, né? Dentro da nossa sociedade, nós somos um pouco menos do que 7%, entre 1.000 homens, somos 64 mulheres intervencionistas. E, contudo, nós tivemos o apoio na gestão passada para criar o grupo MINT, Mulheres Intervencionistas, com o apoio de toda a diretoria, e que continua nesta diretoria atual, com 2 mulheres na diretoria, com a Fernanda, que está aqui, faz parte, mas o que eu vejo é que, como eu cheguei a presidente da Sociedade Brasileira de Hemodinâmica e Cardiologia Intervencionista no Brasil, eu vejo que as mulheres, muitas vezes, não conseguem perceber aonde elas podem chegar, né? Elas têm medo de chegar, ou têm medo de levantar a mão, têm medo de colocar a sua posição. E quando essa timidez cai, o seu trabalho aparece e ela consegue se sobressair. E a gente tem visto isso no Brasil. Então, acho que isso que eu gostaria de dizer, que nós temos tido apoio da diretoria atual, e temos também um grupo de mulheres que se chama Mulheres em Ação no Brasil, que tem esse objetivo também de ajudar a diminuir as diferenças de gênero entre todas as especialidades, não só na cardiologia. Obrigada. Talvez a Fernanda queira complementar alguma coisa, ou a Sanali. Talvez, Fernanda, se você quiser falar da diretoria atual.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I would really like to thank for the kind invitation. For me, it's a real honor to be here with you. First of all, I would like to congratulate Viviana for the amazing work she did with the Brazilian Society of Interventional Cardiology and the creation of the MINT group. It was a great first step for us. And I think we are stronger now as a whole. We are almost 70 interventional cardiologists, women. So it's a very important step. Now that I'm in the Brazilian Society of Cardiology, I'm one of the directors, I think we can do much more. As Roxana said, we can stimulate more women to join the talent directory, be part of the Women as One. Myself, I didn't know there was the talent directory till now. So I think there is lack of information. So I think what I can do, being part of the interventional cardiology, Brazilian Interventional Cardiology Society, is try to make women more familiar with all those programs that are being created. And I would like to congratulate Carla as well for the very, very nice webinar that you have promoted together with Caci. And you can count always on me for anything you need.
Thank you. I think we have some opinions in the chat. For example, there Mariana Altuve says, why to maybe we can establish a quote of Latin America woman speakers, Latin America woman panelists, because why we don't see females in Solaci, Caci, you know, almost 50 webinars this year, and you count by your hands the number of women in the webinars. So that's, we need to do some own introspection, why this happened. You are not invited to be panelist, speaker, or whatever you want to do, or you are shy and we need to coach you, mentor you, promote you, push you to do this, because we have different level of English. It's that no care. We do things in Spanish, in Portuguese, but the thing is to be part. That's the reason why we are doing this union between Women as One, Mint, Caci, Solaci. We need to work together in this. So I think we can move forward, Diego, to the next speaker. It's, you want to present, Erika?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm just listening to you guys, and I feel like most of what you've said we've covered, and so I'm just going to go through this really quickly because the discussion was so wonderful, and I think Roxana did such an amazing job presenting Women as One. So my name is Erika Squarey, and I am the head of engagement for Women as One. We heard from our amazing co-founder, Dr. Roxana Moran, and also have Dr. Marie-Claude Maurice lead our organization as our co-founders. And I think that they really embody the spirit of Women as One, and also emphasize that this is really a global effort. So I know I'm an American, and Roxana is American as well, but this is meant to be a global and unifying effort. And I think this call also embodies how we can be from Brazil and Argentina and have people from Mexico and all work together to really make an impact in the field of cardiology and interventional cardiology to change the face and the culture. I have had such a pleasure working with Carla and Solaci, and we've had a great partnership really since the beginning of Women as One. Last year, we had Solaci participate in our first ever global think tank, back when we could all be with each other physically in Paris. We had our think tank, and we look forward to meeting with you all in person, but are always happy to do digital engagements now. Roxana referred to this on her presentation, but we also earlier this summer created an interactive slide set on radiation safety. And I know one of the things that is a concern for women in interventional cardiology is around radiation exposure and pregnancy. So at Women as One, we created a slide set to talk about radiation exposure and how women can and men can protect themselves, and also some basics on radiation safety to try and eliminate that barrier for women interested in interventional cardiology. We had 7 organizations around the world endorse radiation safety, and Solaci was our first organization that endorsed the slide set, so we were very pleased with that. We also last month did a webinar on radiation safety, and specifically the impact of radiation safety in Latin America, with a wonderful discussion with Solaci and Medtronic. And then we'll talk about CLIMB at the very end, but 16% of our CLIMB participants are from Latin America. And I think that that speaks to how we can all in this digital environment work together globally on programs and have participants around the world. I know that we've talked a lot about the talent directory, so I won't spend too much time on this, as I know we're approaching the end of the hour as well. But this really is a way for us to get to know you and to match you to opportunities. And right now, if we take a look at our numbers, 34% of our registrants are interventional cardiologists, but only 5% of our registrants are from Latin America. And I'll give you an example of how our talent directory works. We get calls from medical societies or commercial groups like industry and ask us to find talented women around the globe. Based on their profiles, we match them to those opportunities. So the more women we can get from Latin America, the more we can visibly showcase you for speaking engagements or industry panels. And it also is a way for us to make sure that we're communicating with you on our Women as One programs, and just make sure that we know who you are so that we can best partner with you. I'm going to end again just to reiterate what Roxana said on both our Escalator Awards and Climb. In our Escalator Awards, which we just ended our cycle, we distribute $300,000 in global awards. And we've only had 2 women apply in our first and second cohort from Latin America. So I think there's a tremendous opportunity for us to invest in the careers of women in Latin America. And I want to figure out, how can we do that? Is it by having me and Roxana present in the region when the Escalator Awards are closing within the application period? I think it's getting women in our talent directories so you can know when the cycles are coming up and to hear about our winners throughout the year and perhaps what research projects you could work on. But there is just so much potential here, and we want to make sure that we are escalating the careers of very talented women in Latin America through our program. And then finally, I'll end on our Climb Skills Training Program, where we are working to increase the technical skills for women interventionalists performing complex procedures, as well as improving the access between relationship with industry and women interventional cardiologists. It's been a great success and a new program that we just started, and we'll be expanding the program into 2021. We also archive all of our recordings in our talent directory. So another reason to sign up for our talent directory at Women as One. But this is a way for us to reach out to women globally. It's a free resource and a free program, and to build those clinical skills that I know that women are looking for in an environment that's now digital. So I know that this is a reiteration of what Roxana said, and I think Carla, just, you hit every single point I wanted to talk about. But there is such an opportunity for Women as One to work with you all, and I'm so excited to see everybody on the line today. And I'm happy to help answer any questions and figure out how we can best partner to change the visibility and equity of women in interventional cardiology and cardiology as a whole.
Thank you, Erica. I think this is a big opportunity for us, for Latin America. I think there is no more time for complaint. We have the possibilities, we have the accessibility to this grant, to the beginners and the female that have more than 15 years of cardiology in the field. So I want to ask you and my male colleagues, Omar, all of you, how we could increase the number of Latin America female representation in your talent, climb, and escalator award. What we need to do, what we need to ask for. The translation in Spanish may be one issue.
Yep.
Maybe we can help here from Solaci office or Caci office, from the Brazilian Interventional Cardiology Society too, to help our colleagues to apply.
Yeah, I think that is a great point. And we have marketing materials that we can work to translate into languages. But I think that this discussion today is also a really important first step, right? Like you can't, it's hard to apply for something when you don't really know what it is, or you're like, who are these people? So I think that just having this conversation and continuing it is really important. And I think that's a good first step. And then I think also following up with materials that are translated into Portuguese and Spanish, and just knowing that you have me as a resource. I'm always here to answer any questions, and that's my job. So I think it also helps too that you can put a face with a name, and just get to know us. And as we put together these programs like Climb or the Escalator Awards in the future, I think we can come back and perhaps have this venue again where we talk specifically about, here is what we're looking for in applicants, here is what we are hoping to get out of this program, so that women feel empowered to apply for something that they may not know as much about. So it's little steps, but I think they're important, and I think visibility is the first thing we can do.
Carla.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that, for example, I didn't know about that, and I think that it's a great opportunity. And perhaps the scientific society need to improve the communication about that, because it's a great opportunity, and more us, perhaps we didn't know about it or about that.
Yes, I think that's the idea, to be visible, these possibilities for us, for colleagues in Latin America. This is a consultation from the chat. Fellow in training, possibilities of acquiring a scholarship for improvement in research in interventional cardiology, or training abroad to later put them into practice in Argentina. I think the answer is be in your Woman as One organization and apply. I think that's the idea.
Yep.
And for the interventional cardiology with more than 15 years, you have also some kind of specific application for rotablator, structural learning. I think this is also a good opportunity for all our colleagues that have, for example, a specific need in training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's a couple things, and that's why I mentioned the Escalator Awards. It's unfortunate because we'll have to wait another year for the application, but we do have, while it's not a grant-funded opportunity, I think the Climb skills training for interventional cardiologists, it is a really great opportunity for women to increase their clinical skills, as well as learn from experts on these complex procedures that are going to enhance their training skills and program. So those are just a few things. I know we talked about Escalator Awards and Climb. And as we unveil our research network, we don't have all the details now, but that's going to be another way for women to connect globally on, I have this research idea and I want to connect with someone in, Canada, to make those connections and to utilize Women as One to kind of help find those opportunities. So, there's so many things that we can do together. And I think the easiest way, I know if you can take away anything from this talk, sign up in our talent directory, and sign up in our talent directory, because it's too hard. There's so many things going on that if you're in our talent directory, you'll be able to understand those opportunities and then figure out what you want to apply for, or what you want to say, hey, sign me up. But that's really the purpose of having that talent directory, so we can keep you informed.
I agree with you, Carla. It's not time anymore for complaint. I mean, it's time to get action and put hands to work. I mean, if you want to be part, the best thing you can do is to call your scientific interventional cardiology, local scientific interventional cardiology college or society, as Brazilian Society of Interventional Cardiology or Caci or Solaci, and want to be part and want to work. I think this is the best way to get in. I mean, we always complain from several years ago. I think this is the really best time to get ready and start work. I mean, get in contact with your local society or Solaci, and we all together we can work more hard. And as Roxana said, if we are together, we are stronger. Strongest.
Carla.
Yeah, Lorena.
Hola, Carla.
Sí.
Bueno, my English is bad. I hope you understand.
En español, Lorena, si no, y Carla de
español, Lore.
No, me voy a superar. In my province, Catamarca, there are 5 cardiology interventionistas. 4 are men. I am the only woman interventional cardiology. Quiero hacer unas preguntas para el panel, ¿sí? You believe that the center are clear about radiation and pregnancy policy? ¿Entienden? ¿Ustedes creen, digamos, vamos a hablar en español, ustedes creen realmente, yo creo que una de las limitantes de las pocas cardiólogas intervencionistas que hay es el miedo a la radiación? De hecho, las encuestas dicen que sobre todo por debajo de, las mujeres por debajo de los 40, tienen, digamos, un gran temor a la radiación y por eso, digamos, el poco acceso a ser cardiólogas intervencionistas. Entonces, yo creo que una de 2 cuestiones que son fundamentales, creo o propongo que creo que desde la residencia, no sé si les habrá pasado a ustedes, en la residencia de cardiología, es poco, yo le diría prácticamente nada, esa es mi experiencia, de lo que se habla de radiación y, por ejemplo, embarazo, cuál es el verdadero impacto en el embarazo. Y yo creo que inclusive, no sé cómo serán en sus centros, pero en la mayoría de los centros, yo no sé cuántos tienen realmente claro cuáles son las políticas de radiación con respecto al embarazo, si hay políticas, si es desconocido, no sé qué piensan de eso. Yo acá, como les digo, en mi provincia, soy la única mujer.
Let me translate to Erica. Lorena is concerned about radiation issue and pregnancy and the education in radiation safety for future women interventional cardiologists. Let me ask about, you have some radiation safety education program in Women as One organization that we talking about this a month ago in a webinar, that there are policies in each centers in Latin America too, in Europe and in North America related radiation safety. I think we need to be more educated related radiation, because we have no education at all when we were young fellows or young cardiologists. So we need to educate the fellows, the cardiologists, to not be afraid about radiation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we put together the radiation safety slide set, because there is no formal training, and it varies so much. You know, I didn't know, you know, I came to this, I worked in I worked at the American College of Cardiology before Women as One, and I had no idea about the issue of radiation exposure and safety before I started working here. And it's a huge issue, but I think that with everything, it's education, it's communication, and it's working to kind of figure out what the reality and what the truth is. And so the first step is to work through education and training. And then we can think through, how do we impact policy changes? How do we make global standards? But if we don't have that education, if we don't have people kind of understanding the basics, it's hard to make changes. And so I think that is the goal with Women as One's radiation safety slide set, is to provide that education. And I'm happy to send over, and follow up the slide set, but maybe that's something that we could work on. I know it would be a huge undertaking, but it might be nice to translate radiation safety into Spanish or into Portuguese, because that is so critical and really an important barrier for women. We do have some kind of overview that is translated into Spanish that I'm happy to send over, but that might be a project we could think about in the coming year. If you guys are up for it, that might be helpful.
Yeah, we have a really, really good expert in radiation. It's Dr. Amalia Descalzo. I think she's going to be really, really interested in be part of this project. We have in our course in Caci a specific topic on radiation, but I don't really know if we have the formal topic on pregnancy, because we can, Carla, we can talk with Amalia and maybe make this part of the course come true now.
Yes, I think if this is a big issue, radiation safety, we need to move to educate about radiation safety more intensively in cardiology residents, to not be afraid about this, because this is the big first barrier. And it's not a barrier, but they think that it's a barrier. I think if we have some question in the chat, but we answer. If you have any other comments, we think we are almost on time. We need to move forward to the conclusion. I think if you have another opinion or comments, Aníbal, Martín. We are so much woman that you not talk now.
Carla? Hi.
Hi, Senali.
Yes, first I would like to thank you for this invitation and participate in this very interesting and provoking webinar, because we are really pioneers of ourselves. I think in fact is this. I work in Natal, Brazil, as an interventional cardiology for about 22 years. I have 2 children, and soon I will be grandmother of a boy. And Diego, I know your mother, Lilian, and she was...
My aunt. She was my aunt.
Okay, sorry. She was an icon for all of us in Latin America, interventionists. So the barriers are many. It starts with the difficulty in speaking, for example, another language. Low self-esteem, autoestima in Portuguese. Colleagues do not encourage students to contact real mentors through the college, leaving that knowledge just to the last of the last years of the faculty, the university. I also believe that there is a problem that comes from the beginning of the college. We have experienced a generation of people who prefer professions what produce less work. Women are often afraid of specialties that imply greater risks for the exercise of their professions. On the other hand, contact with interventional cardiologists needs to be early during the medical school. I see this every day here in my city, my country. The definition, I think this is very important, because the definition of the specialty often happens in the middle of the course and not the last of the course. And the students, the women, just know us in the end of the course of medicine. In my daily life, I participate as a staff in cardiology medical residency. And daily I reinforce the need to give more strong to the fellows. And I realize that this is in fact makes them firmer, more confident, and women really need to come together. As Roxana rightly said, together we are really stronger. We have a job that needs to be done daily. This war is every day, continuous. We need to be a purpose for each us. And in fact, I think women need male mentors. In Portuguese, I say we need homens fofos, sweet, men who help us to overcome the barriers imposed by men. Because the word, frequently we can say that the word are from the men. And I don't believe that pregnancy is a problem in isolation, especially if a woman works in a group. Of course, everything to need to be negotiated. And every day I can meet women that would like to be interventional cardiology, but they first think that it's very difficult. And after they think about pregnancy, about money, but the most important problem is because it's difficult. The money is not a problem. So I think we need to fight every day, because there are many girls that could be cardiologists, could be interventional cardiologists, and we need to talk every day, mainly in the universities.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanali. I think we need to move forward to the end. If there are no more comments, I want to share you the let's see. Did you see the screen? No.
Yeah. We can see your screen, but it's already finished. You have to go to page 1 first.
Okay. Do you have my presentation, Lucas?
Yes, 1 minute.
Maybe you can share it. I think while we are waiting the final comments, I want to say something that everybody of you, I think it's time to action. You know, it's no more time for complaint. Let us help us to mentor a new generation of interventional cardiology women. I think they need the opportunity. They need the opportunity to be involved in this wonderful subspecialty. Younger generation are more demanding. They have the right to be. It is up to us to rise to the occasion and provide them with modern mentoring, free from all prejudices and inequalities. So I think women and minorities are underrepresented in cardiovascular specialties. It remains unknown how characteristic of the cardiovascular learning environment affect diversity and how program directors approach these critical issues. We recognize diversity as an important issue in cardiology, as Roxana and Erica mentioned, and all of you mentioned. Next, please. I think the cardiovascular disease community has a unique opportunity. We have a unique opportunity. That's the idea, to standardize a strategy and provide national resources to support program directors in this effort, to look for diversity, to look for more women in interventional cardiology. We need to be creative, collaborative between societies. It's not only one society concern, it's everybody concerned to promote and empower female in interventional cardiology potential candidates. We need more candidates. We don't have enough candidates. We need to create for our female cardiologists a woman-friendly environment. And we need all, we need women and men interventional cardiologists involved in this issue. We need to work together as one. That's what Roxana said. So I think maybe this is a picture of a TAVI performed all by females in my place. And I think the first picture, if Lucas, you can show you the first picture in the PowerPoint, is this picture when this Liliana Greenfeld, almost 50 years ago, created the Women in Cardiology group at the Argentine Society of Cardiology. I think this is time for interventional cardiology. We know more complaint. We need to be creative. We need to work together. We need to empower our cardiology colleagues to choose this specialty, to choose this working in the lab. We love to work in the lab. We need to be more passionate with them. We need to be more creative with them. We need to teach them that radiation is not a concern if we take care. So I think it's all for me. I want to thank everybody of you. I want to thank Mariana Altuve first, Mili Arguello from Boston. This is Livy Avila, with one of my right arm, that's raised the idea, work together in a month to reach this wonderful webinar. I think to see you next year in most of these type of webinars. So thank you, Diego and Aníbal and everybody of you.
Thank you, Carla very much. Thank you, Erica, all of you who are part of this. Thank you. And keep working. Keep working together.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.